question about evil and its relationship to personality. Evil, it seems to me, comes in varying degrees. Some people are profoundly evil, some people are just a little bit evil. But it's my impression that there are some people who are, it's part of their personality, they're born that way. And there may be some people who have become so damaged and twisted by what's happened to them that can foster evil. So is there a distinction between those two? Is some of it personality inherent in the personality?
Yep.
Or
well, remember I said that God created personality.
yeah.
So therefore there is nothing evil in our personality. Right? But I will explain to you why there seems to be this appearance of evil right from birth onwards. What actually happens is, remember incarnation, you've got the soul and you've got the bodies that are created at conception, right? So you've got the two bodies, the physical and spirit body, material body and the spirit body, and there's the half of the soul that incarnates. Now, what's happening in an energetic way is the soul envelops the two bodies. So in other words, the soul controls the physiological functions and the material functions and the spiritual functions of those bodies.
Just the whole soul or half the soul?
The half of the soul I'm talking now. So when I'm referring to the word soul, I'm talking the half of the soul at this point, right? The half of the soul needs these bodies to begin this experience that we talked about earlier, which is this experience of slowly absorbing life, slowly experiencing. But the problem is that this particular creation is in an environment already at the moment of conception. So at the moment of conception, shortly after, this soul surrounds this body, if you like, but inside the mother's womb. Do you follow me? Now what's happening inside the mother's womb is, here's the mother's womb. You could say, this is now the mother's womb. What influences are happening upon the mother? She's got, her relationship with her husband. So her husband or man in her life is there. She's got her own emotional injuries, the mother's emotional injuries, right? The ones that she hasn't cleared by the time she had this child. She's living in an environment of some kind, isn't she?
Yeah.
And there is also other environmental factors impressed emotionally upon the child. So, even just a woman being pregnant, sitting in this room, will be absorbing the child, the unborn child, is absorbing through its mother all of your emotional impressions. This is occurring right from the moment of conception. So by the time that child's born, yes, it has quite a lot of emotional damage.
So watching horror movies, for example, while you're pregnant is not good?
Well, like doctors would say drinking coffee while you're pregnant is not good. I'm saying to you, anything that you do that emotionally affects you and causes you to get in a fear-based state is certainly going to be more damaging to the child than even drinking coffee. Right? Because these are all emotions that this soul is absorbing. Now, you imagine, by the time this soul is born, already it's now acting out the emotional injuries that it's received. Already. That's why most children are born screaming, right?
Yeah. So it's all avoidable, isn't it?
It's all avoidable.
Well,
a whole lot's avoidable. If the husband dealt with his crap, the wife dealt with her crap.
But in a sense, it's not avoidable.
Well, no, it is all totally avoidable. The whole lot is totally avoidable.
But it doesn't happen that way, does it?
It doesn't happen because very few of us are making the personal emotional choice to deal with all of our own emotional damage. That's why.
So that's going to be ongoing.
It doesn't have to be. On the divine path, within a few years, you can have dealt with all of your emotional damage.
But I mean in a broader sense, that in society it's going to happen.
Well, let me explain what else is
this,
going on.
And then it's up to the individual to progress.
True, but let me explain what else is going on. The husband and the wife, or the two creators of this child, form a protective spiritual umbrella around this unborn child. So what that means is, if the husband and wife, or the partners of this child, the creators of this child, are in very good emotional and spiritual conditions, nothing can penetrate this emotional umbrella to harm the child from the external environment. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So really, it just depends upon the parents themselves being able to form this umbrella. But what often happens is, let's say the mother is really angry with men. So let's say the mum here, she's angry with men. Let's say this is a boy child. What's going to happen from the moment they conceive? This boy child is going to feel mum's angry with me before I even am born. Can you see that? And it starts to, how do you respond when someone's angry with you unjustly?
Smack them.
You feel like getting angry back, do you not? Right? So a lot of boys finish up doing one of two different things. They either get angry back, or they go down the track of feeling browbeaten by their mothers and do whatever she wants in order to get her love. They'll do one of those two things. But that injury is already there before they're even born. Now if the mother dealt with her anger, right, and now she was in a state of love towards her child, right, completely, what's this boy going to feel about women?
Love.
Very low.
Just love, right? So it's going to be a totally different experience for that child, isn't it?